palms into the center. Press them together, bring them to your heart, close your eyes and slow down. Slow your breath, tune in. With conscious awareness, taking your attention off of the external world and bringing it to your inner world, your inner vision, your inner hearing. In that mind's eye, seeing the most beautiful sunrise. Connect to it. Feel every cell of your being uplifted by the sun. Feel that warmth, see the beauty. Just tune into the frequency, the energy. As you inhale, drawing the light of the sun directly into your heart center. Suspend the breath at the heart center and allow it to expand. And as you exhale, send that light through the crown, see it and feel it like a fountain all around you, make it big. Inhaling the light of the sun directly into. Hold the breath, the light at the heart center. See it and feel it expanding within you through your whole being. Light. Exhale through the crown like a fountain. Make it big. Clear out your space. Inhaling one more time. The light of the sun directly into the heart center. Suspend the breath. Expand it in your mind's eye. See it and feel it filling your whole being with light. And as you exhale, send the light through the crown like a fountain all around you. Sitting in your beautiful space for a moment, seeing and feeling the light within you and the light all around you, expanding your awareness in all directions, even below you, behind you, beside you, above you, in front of you. Feel yourself lighter and lighter. Inhale deeply. Hold the breath, rub the palms. Inhale a little more. Hold it. Cut them over your eyes or in front of your eyes and exhale. Hold it out, no air. Inhale, hold. Try to tune into that energy from your palms to your eyes to your whole being. Everything I need is within me. Say it to yourself. As you exhale, float the palms down, flutter your eyes open into your space. Good. Feeling brand new, tuned in. And like I always say, tuning into how you've been feeling, what's on your mind, what's in your heart, what's in your awareness right now, and where you've been dwelling predominantly. You know, you have to be consistently, pretty constantly, I would say, aware of where you're at. You know, that's what we're talking about here, awareness. And then because you're aware of where you're at, then you can know if where you're at is where you want to be or not where you want to be. And if it's not where you want to be, then you know what to do. You know where to go and you know what to do within yourself. Living in this internal world of imagination, as we call it, as we say, and becoming more and more adept, more and more skilled, more and more confident with that knowingness that you know what this is, you know what you're doing, you know where your experience is, where the reality or outer world that you are participating or that you are having the experience in, where it is coming from. Now, what have I been talking about? Well, I talk about everything, but the same things a lot, right? of course, deciding what you want. It's the most important thing. It's the most important thing. It's probably the thing that, I don't want to say messes us up, because you're not really messed up. You can always do it. You can always change it. But I feel like our lack of awareness of that part, which I've talked about many times, right? If you don't know what you want, then it's kind of, it's not challenging because, okay, so even if you don't know exactly what you want, what do I say? You know how you want to feel. So even if you don't know exactly what you want, but it would be helpful to narrow it down, to get some idea. And then with that idea, how it feels, so that, because why I'm saying that and reminding us of that is because then, like I'm saying, in your day or whenever you are bringing your awareness to your state of being or to your state, like where you've gone in your mind and your emotions, then you can quickly bring those emotions up or tune into that state. But if you don't know, if you haven't defined that, if you don't think about that, if you didn't write it down, if you didn't figure it out, then it's always this sort of wishy-washy way that maybe you're good right now, but like I said the last time, you think you're really good, and then if it's not locked in, if you're not solid, if you haven't really clarified that, then any little thing on the outside can knock you off or shift your state. And yes, it's okay because you can shift back and whatever, but it's just like, why? Like you have to understand that is you, like that's on you. And once again, not in a guilt inducing or all of those old self ego patterns to keep yourself limited, not in that way, in the way of like, oh, I must not have been very solid in what I decided or in my state of being. If I can notice one thing out here, a lot of times just like one little thing, like somebody says something weird, or the tone, or they don't do what you thought they were going to do, or somebody gets sick, or something let's say unexpected happens. And if that can like wobble you right off right away, well, you got to ask yourself, how practiced am I in this state of being thing? Probably not that practiced. And also, maybe I really don't fully know that I am the operant power. I haven't committed to that. I haven't taken that 100% responsibility, because I still think that something out there can do something outside of my decision, outside of my conviction or my knowingness. And it may seem like it can, and it can, like something happens, but that is your opportunity. That is your opportunity to stay in what you decided, to persist. And that is the work. Yeah, that's the work. It's not always obviously easy, though I don't say things like that. Like when I say, oh, it's not, yeah, it's challenging, it's not that easy. Like, yes, on some level, of course, you acknowledge that. And yeah, but also, like, I am just constantly deciding that that is my belief. I have a belief that it's not easy. I have a belief that that's challenging. I can change that. I change every single thing that is not in alignment with what I want or who I say that I am. And it works, but you have to do it. And the other part is that, like I'm saying, you have to know you're the operant power. You have to know what this is. because you know where, again, like I'm saying, where all this is coming from. It's coming from the unseen world. It's coming from imagination. It's coming from consciousness, awareness, like whoever is deciding, whoever decided, you know, and it's a lot because, like I was saying, whenever last week, something about being programmed, about if you, the one who knows how to program will program the programmable. I don't know why I like to keep using that tongue twister because it's not that easy to say, but I think it just gets the point across, right? That it's programming. And so by default, by unconsciousness, you go along with this programming, because you could say to me, well, aren't you saying that you're creating your reality? Yes, you are. And most of the time, up until now, up until you've learned this wisdom, up until you have become more and more aware, because I'm sure you've had glimpses in your life where you knew you did that, or that was so weird, or that was a coincidence, or whatever, that you created something, or a lot of us have been working on this for a while, whatever a while is in this, whatever this is. Anyways, what I'm saying is that we've been very, very unaware. You know, we always talk about this amnesia. Somehow, I don't know, I guess it's the agreement, you know, you come wherever this is with amnesia and you don't remember. So in that way, though, there's all different things going on, and there are beings, people, I don't know, whatever. There are templates or energies or thought forms that are created, you know, like somebody knows what they're doing. Somebody knows what they're doing. Somebody, I don't know, knows what they're doing. So our world is created in a certain way by people that, and sometimes either it could be unknowingly as well. If someone is focusing upon something enough, you know, and that is their imagination, and they are going to create it, all the cooperative components, which may include you, because you're not creating it, you're not really deciding, or you have those programs already there. You've just bought into the program. You didn't even know you bought into the program. So you're fulfilling the whatever, the imagination. And it is still you creating your reality, because without you realizing unconsciously, you didn't know that you just accepted those things as fact, as a fact. And I've said this lots of times, right? We've been talking about this for 2 years about, are you willing to upgrade your models of understanding? Are you willing to question everything? Do you look at the systems and the stuff that we're doing here that don't make any sense? And instead of just saying like, well, you know, I guess that's the way it is. Instead of that, saying, what do I want? What do I want? And yes, that may still be, again, like I've said, out picturing or playing out or whatever in some kind of way. But if you don't like it, you don't just accept it and keep going with it. You don't. You say inside of you, because you know where everything is coming from, is going to be out pictured here in this experience we got going on, this reality. So you say like, no, like not in my reality. What would I like to see? But do you see what I'm saying from the beginning? We don't always ask that question, like, what do I want? Because we've already been programmed and think that that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. So many people, so many of us are just like going along with, well, that's the way it has been. That's the way it will be. You know, that's the way it is. That's the way it will be. And people say it, like people say those phrases, like, you know, whatever. I'm not even going to find one to make up to say, because you know them. You've heard your parents say them, or you've heard, you know, other people say them. And you may have a reaction like, you know, like, I don't really, that doesn't feel good to me. Like those phrases that people say, or the things that people just accept and then kind of say, well, you know, that's the way it is. And like inside of you, you're like, that sucks, you know, that's not really that doesn't seem good to me. But we, again, in that moment, didn't know or haven't known to do anything about it, to change it, or to say, I think something better. We maybe think something better, but we don't take any time to, really, we still are giving that's what I'm trying to get at. We're still participating in it because we're giving our negative emotion to it. We're still reacting to it in a negative way instead of saying, I'm good on that. No more negative, like, I don't like it, but you don't have to get all riled up and like talk to and complain and tell people that the system is stupid and whatever. You just say, okay, what is wanted? And sometimes, it's true. I don't know the exact details of a system that would work or whatever, but I do know how it would feel. I do know that there is a more harmonious way of being, and there's harmonious systems that we can tune into that already exist, that have been existing, that already exist. So, I've been talking to quite a few people, not quite a few, a handful, because there's not quite a few right at this moment that are talking about this stuff, like about our systems and the things that we just accept and buy into. But when someone points it out, or when we start to think about it, we think, that isn't really aligned. That isn't really the best we could do. This is the best we can do. Like this medical system is the best we can do. That it's not. That is barbaric and antiquated. We're very, very primitive. Like if you think about it, how powerful we are, it's very, very, a lot of our systems are just backwards and barbaric. Like it's very clunky. When I think about it, just feels very clunky, and we are elegant, harmonious beings. And somehow we've been programmed and told that this clunkiness is what we need, something outside of ourselves. This clunkiness is what we need to be good enough or to be better, or something faulty goes on faulty in here. So I got to get something out here to like something clunky, something not elegant or not harmonious, not high frequency. Like, does that make sense? It doesn't make any sense. Like, well, you feel into it for yourself. In my world, that doesn't feel good and that doesn't make any sense. I know we are elegant, harmonious beings, and this system is set up to serve us. Like our system is in harmony with itself. It works all the time without us participating. We're the ones, like I've said, that get in the way with our state of being. And then it starts to go all funky and whatever happens. But every time, even when stuff happens in our system, it's doing it to show us where we need to focus. It's trying to help us. Our system is always trying to adapt and serve us. You're in conflict, you're in fight or flight. Oh, let me help you out, Jody, by making these cells over here. Oh, you're still in conflict. We got to keep doing it. Like, so it's trying to help you out, and then it gets messy, or we're not aware. We're not aware because we've been tuned into this system of outside ourselves all the time. So we're not paying attention. You're not paying attention to your conflicts and we are. We're paying attention to our state of being and how we are, and getting ourselves in a orderly and coherent and harmonious and joyful and graceful and elegant and calm state of being, so that we can see when it is not a match. We can see when we are trying to go out there for some kind of answer or some kind of help, when if this isn't right, if this isn't in alignment, if you haven't decided inside on that state of being and gotten into that state of being, what are you looking for out there? It's going to match wherever you're at, and that's not good. And that's what I'm saying has been happening. It's like, we're not good, like something's not good, we're fearful, something's wrong, whatever. And then in that state, go look for answers. Sometimes it turns out because Because of our beliefs. Why does sometimes it turn out? Because we have believed in this thing outside of ourselves. So like, oh, they're gonna help me. But that's always your belief. So then it could work out because you believe that person or that thing out there is going to help you, and then you take it or you get the advice or whatever, and then you believe in it. So then it works. Sometimes, because whatever it was that created that problem or disturbance in the first place, if we didn't look at that, if we didn't fix that, it usually will return, or find a different avenue or show up in a different way. That's what I'm saying. We're doing everything like very peace, very like, we're not, but most, we have been in the past. We've been conditioned this certain way, like not putting it all together, not realizing, okay, I have command of all of this if I would just become aware. And I would realize that, yeah, it is the way it is because I have been participating unconsciously and I didn't do anything about it. And I think we probably had this conversation like 2 years ago. I remember that I'm maybe saying the same things. I know I say the same things a lot, but we do need repetition, because this repetition that we get from sources outside of ourselves that we didn't decide, we didn't make that up, is also very repetitive. It's a very repetitive message that you need something outside of yourself to be whatever, better, healthy, I don't know, different, good, acceptable, all of that stuff. You need something outside of yourself. That's a very repetitive program. And like I said, again, I'm not saying you can't have any of that stuff outside of yourself. I'm saying you do it consciously. You decide what you want. You decide what it is, and then watch what happens. But that's why also I've been saying to pay very close attention to what you're giving your emotional energy to and what you're consuming. Like, what are you really taking in about this world right now? All the stuff that's going on. Because, yeah, it's a lot. And so it's been a lot. It's been a lot. This has been an interesting adventure. So at this moment, at any moment, you could be consuming things or looking at things that could get your emotions going. And it's fine if they're going in like an uplifted and positive way, but there's a lot of stuff also that could get your emotions going in not an uplifted and positive way. So I'm saying to pay attention to that, use your discernment and your discipline. Once again, always on this feedback loop, always on this world of effects, that you're watching it and saying, okay, like, not wanted. Like, but just like that, like you maybe get a little bit angry or that's terrible or whatever, but at the same time, it is what it is from what it was. So now, from now and what is and what's going forward, not this, but when we get all riled up about it, or start judging and like get back and forth in that, we got our hooks in. And then you are going to get more of that. You are going to get more of that. So if you don't want more of that, and it's basically an observation, you're observing, you can, we know if it's something good or something not good in our judgment, in our experience, that's fine. But at the same time, it's like, okay, and especially when it's about, I think I've said it before, about other people, and something terrible happened or these terrible things are happening, and it's like, okay, I don't know what anybody is here for. Like, I only can know what I'm here for. And if I'm witnessing or experiencing this, somehow I participate, somehow I believed in that, like I believed in this system, or I believed in this negativity, or I believed in this, whatever it is. And probably unconsciously, like I have this program. So again, like I'm using this as my feedback, just to see like, okay, that's really, yeah, it is terrible. I can acknowledge that's not good. And at the same time, now what am I going to do? And so that's why I've been saying to just focus on yourself. Like I say it all the time, Just focus on, you don't know what anything is for. The only thing it's for is to wake you up. The only thing it's for to see where you're at, to see if it threw your whole state of being off or not. And if it did, okay, bring it back and let's go. Because that's the only thing it's for right now, because it could get a little hairy. So, you don't want to be in that mess. You want to stay in your state with the observational, like, okay, all of this is set up for me to grow, expand, shift, decide, and still have an amazing experience, a fun life. Let's see what we can do. Like I always say, despite the circumstances, like that is the coolest part. It's just, you can't get your emotional hooks in what's going on with other people, because you just don't know. I don't know what their role is. I don't know who set that up. I don't know what's going on up there. I just know what's going on from my perspective and my eyes, and I know what I want, and I know what I'm going to do. So it could seem, detached or uninvolved or whatever. I don't care. I don't care what anybody thinks it is. Like, with so much love, with so much unconditional love, everybody is free to do whatever it is they decide to do in their own consciousness. And I'm going to do the same with so much love. So once again, in those reactions, like I've said many times, if you are reacting, and it doesn't matter who it is in your best interest to either drop it, but it's really in your best interest to uplift it. It's really in your best interest to see it differently, to feel it differently, to see that entity, that person filled with love. Like I think I've told you this. I know I keep saying I told you this before, because I really do feel like I say it a lot. But if I think of some character in this play that I think is, causing a little bit of a ruckus, or is like a little bit of a troublemaker, I'm saying it lightly, I bust their heart open with love. Like I just see them like the Grinch, like really, really like the Grinch. Like it grows like 3 sizes, and like their heart just like bursts open with love. And that's the best that I feel I can do. If my awareness is going to something that I'm like, then I fill it with love. And that's from my experience, because I know that if I still have my emotional hooks in, or if I'm still being swayed, or if I'm still being like, played by that, then I'm gotta have to play it out. Like I have to keep participating because I'm doing it and I don't want to. So bust up with love. And I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm experiencing. So that's what I wanted to say, is that, the other part about this, us talking about the imagination or creating your reality or staying focused and all that stuff, is another programming we have of imagination being like frivolous, or I didn't even remember about this Neville book that I was reading called Awakened Imagination. And one of the chapters is, who is your imagination? That's chapter 1. Who is your imagination? And it is saying like, in one moment that somebody will be saying like, follow your imagination, or use your imagination, dream big with your imagination. And in the other breath, like in the next time, they're like, oh, he's a victim of his imagination. The imagination can be used as something so great, and also as something that is like detrimental, or something that is, you're frivolous, like, or that you're being delusional because your imagination has messed you up. Like, they're making that up, and it's not a good thing. So we've also had that programming as well, of this, like, imagination is something of a kid, or it's to be you strive for it in one way, but then also put down for it in another way. So we have to decide that is our greatest strength. And you can call it whatever you want, your inner vision, imagination, awareness, consciousness, whatever. But yeah, so I was reading a bit of that, and it's good. It was like also saying, how I've talked about if you are imagining something, or when you are imagining something, or persisting in something, And sometimes you don't know if you did it or what you're doing or, what you're supposed to do. And, it really is, again, like a personal, not trial and error, just a personal experience. You do have to just do it and see. But I would say in the beginning, or now, even now, that a consistent or persistent imagination about whatever it is that you're doing is probably what you should be doing. Like I keep saying, when I say like crowd everything out with the truth, what are you consuming? Like fill it up with something better, something different, something truth. You could also just be in your feeling state, or in your like new home, or with your partner, or whatever you want, on vacation, or in your retreat home, or like if you're just there, you could just be persisting in the feeling, or feel the how the wood feels under your feet, or you just walking through the hallway in your house, or wherever you are, walking through the hallway in a store, and you make the hallway wherever it is you want to be. Like you have to get serious with it, in a way. You have to be persistent with it, because it's heating up, it's been heating up. It's a little intense or interesting, like I said. And so like, what are you going to do? What do you want to fill your day, your time, while you're, just at the grocery store, in your car, or like, what are you doing in your mind? What are you mulling over? Like problems, or where you're going to next, or whatever. You don't need to do all that. You already know. Like, that's what I'm saying. We're going over things over and over all the time that we already know. Like you don't need to use your consciousness and your time and your energy and your feelings and all that stuff for what? For something that's known? For something that's already known? Like it's already known. You just keep locking it in, locking it in. Why? Just go with the unknown. Go with something interesting. Go with something exciting. Just try it. And like it's worth it. So this, after assuming that I am already what I want to be, must I continually guide myself by reasonable ideas and actions in order to bring about the fulfillment of my imagination? So this is what people ask. It's like, after I imagine that, now do I have to do something? Do I have to like take reasonable, because like I've said before, we think of it and then we think, oh yeah, so that's what I want. So I better talk to her or do that. Like we do automatically, or doer in that way of like take an action here, but like an action, I don't know what action, just let me make something up that seems logical or reasonable. Like, do you need to do that? And the answer is good. The answer is, experience has convinced me that an assumption, though false, so like you're walking through the hallway that is not and you're seeing a different hallway, or you're feeling a different floor under your feet, that's false. An assumption, it's false, it's not true right then. You're making it up. Though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. That continuous imagination is sufficient for all things, and all my reasonable plans and actions will never make up for my lack of continuous imagination. So why I'm pointing this out is because I've gone there, I've faltered there too, is because we go to the end, we imagine it, and then we think like, we forget sort of, in a way. Say like, I did that, or yeah, I did feel that, or I do feel like I'm in my state. But really, like I'm saying to you now, I'm sure you're getting it or catching yourself as like, yeah, what's stopping? I could be feeling a different countertop, or I could be, getting into a different car in my imagination, or I could be having a different kind of conversation with this person in my mind. You know what I mean? Like you could be doing this all the time. That's basically what he's saying. You imagine it once, and then your logical mind wants to take over, or your whatever this is, this planner, this wanting to know everything. tries to make up these reasonable or logical actions. And he's saying none of those things make up for your lack of imagination. It does not mean that you can't do that. It just means if you're only doing that to try and make it happen, to try and make something happen, instead of taking your time to feel it and to inner see it and feel it and know it, it doesn't matter what you do out there. It probably, I mean, it may come to pass, but it's not making up for your imagination is what is the key, is what is the first factor. And the imaginative man does not deny the reality of the sensuous outer world of becoming, but he knows that it is the inner world of continuous imagination that is the force by which the sensuous outer world of becoming is brought to pass. He's saying, like, you know what's up. You know what's up. You know that this outer world has come, this sensuous outer world that we love. I said we're like obsessed with it, but it's great. It's good. It's good. I like it too. It's just we're faulty on where it's coming from. Like we go in there and then we keep forgetting. Like, where did this come from? Oh, it came from my inner world of imagination, or someone's inner world of imagination that I'm participating in, you know? Yeah. He sees the outer world and all of its happenings as projections of the inner world of imagination. To him, everything is a manifestation of the mental activity which goes on in man's imagination without the sensuous, reasonable man being aware of it. So this outer man is like just experiencing this stuff, but not aware. Most people are not aware that it came from your inner state of being. Every man must become conscious of this inner activity and see the relationship between the inner causal world of imagination and the sensuous outer world of effects. It is a marvelous thing to find that you can imagine yourself into the state of your fulfilled desire and escape from the jails which ignorance built. This is a good book. If you want to read it, I highly suggest it. I will find the PDF because I'm sure it's available. Look at all these resources that we have at our fingertips for free, that you can use and apply and get what you want. It's a very good book. And of course, it's small, and yeah, I'm sure it's available. It's got some really good gems in it that I was like, okay. And I know it's saying the same thing again, like we've said. Yeah, it's just too many. There's so much good stuff in there. And so again, I know it's the same thing over and over again, but obviously we need it over and over again. And we really need to use our awareness and discipline. Oh, that's why I was looking at that book, because one of the chapters in that book is the pruning shears of revision. So again, with your imagination and living in the end and whatever, if something is going on, that's the chapter that explains that your first course of action, if something is not to your liking or something happens, you got a first course of action is revision. And that's like, whatever feels good to you, whatever comes up for you that you could revise, however far back you want to go, whatever, it's all available to you in this now moment. And if you can rewrite that, forgiving is living. It's like a whole bunch of stuff in that chapter about forgiveness and, basically letting go of that stuff so that you have an opportunity for something different to occur. But if you're not willing to let go of it, then it's you who's dragging it on along with you to keep experiencing it again and again when you say that that's not what you want. So, it's again a reminder of that good practice of daily revision at the end of your day, forgiving or going over your day. They say to go over it backwards. It's a good practice for your mental agility to be able to remember backwards over your day. There's a guided meditation. I think Brian Scott has one guided meditation about a end of the day revision. So but you can just do it yourself. And sometimes when you do those guided ones that are like, give you space to do something, sometimes they don't give you enough space, sometimes it's too much space. So you could try it, but you can also just do it yourself. Go before, I would say, sitting on the side of your bed, I would say, for revision. This is my suggestion, my advice. Sitting on the edge or the end or a seat in your room, sitting upright, and go mentally, just quickly. You don't have to take a lot of time if you don't want, backwards over your day, just revising better to best, or bad to good, or better to amazing, or whatever you want. Go back over your day, make it good, get to the very beginning of the day. And then when you get in your bed and you're laying down in your bed, then you get into the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It's like you're like cleaning the slate, you're like clearing it out, and then you're imagining, you're putting yourself in that good feeling state to bring with you to wherever we go when we close our eyes to this world. Okay, does that sound good? You get it? All right. Let's breathe a little bit and just you got to do stuff, like I keep saying, you got to do stuff more than once a day. You got to do a few things every day now. Okay, it's like I'm saying about this, it could be these things that I'm saying, like imagining you're walking on a different floor, or hearing a different voice, or hearing a different conversation. Like those are the things that I'm talking about. But also, again, because we're so we've been so bought in and like so indoctrinated in whatever this is, that it's helpful to keep reordering yourself, like reorganizing yourself, making sure you're in the harmony, in the observational state, in the calm space that you want to be in. That's why any of these practices, but spaced out, set your timer on your phone and do something, because it's very important. We think it's like we're okay. Again, like I know we're all okay. Like everyone's okay. Like I know it's okay, but like we can get lazy, like, do you want to be okay, or do you want to be amazing? I think we can be amazing. And if you're amazing, great, good. But let's keep it that way. Sometimes when people are amazing and they let all this stuff go, and then you start to get a little wonky wobbly, and then you're like, oh no, So you want to just keep it up, is what I'm saying. All right, looking straight ahead, let's expand ourselves. Inhale deep into the chest, hold the breath. Inhale a little bit more. Relax your shoulders if you can. Inhale into the back. A little bit more. A little bit more. One more. One more. Now hold root lock. Pull root lock, navel, diaphragm. If you can, send that energy up your spine, into your brain. Exhale, gracefully relax, dissolve. Feel the shift. Good. Inhale deep into the chest. Hold the breath. Inhale a little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. Can you do a little more? Find some space in your sides and your ribs. A little more. One more. Now hold root lock, navel, diaphragm. Pull it up. Activate yourself up your spine, into your brain. Enlightened mind. Exhale, gracefully dissolve, release, relax. Enjoy the contrast, the relief. Once again, looking straight ahead, inhale deep. Inhale a little bit more, a little bit more. Make it feel good. Stretch. Relax your shoulders, stretch. A little more in the back. You can usually find more space in the back. A little bit more. One more. Now hold root lock, navel, diaphragm. Pull it up. See it up your spine, into your brain, pineal gland, enlightened mind. Exhale gracefully, close your eyes, dissolve, release, relax, breathe easy. Good, bringing all of your fingertips together, all of them plugging into yourself. Just recharging yourself. Again, everything you do, you're saying to yourself, everything I need is within me. Turning your awareness inward, off of this external world. I'm going to do Sitali. So through your curled tongue or your sippy mouth, inhaling slowly through the curled tongue and exhaling through the nose, slowly if you can. Inhale one more time through the tongue or the sippy mouth. Pull the tongue, swallow, hold. Exhale, nose. Hold it out, no air. Inhale, reach. Inhale, more. Hold it, shake, and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Just sit quietly for a moment. See and feel yourself radiant, bright, strong, orderly, coherent, harmonious, peaceful, bright, so bright. Aligning all of your thoughts with your feelings and your words, your actions. Just decide. I am. Let's just stretch a little bit, release our nervous system. Suck the tongue up, look at the tip of your nose. That off. Swallow, stick out the tongue, tuck your chin, look at the third eye. Come back to center, bring your fingertips together, looking up, inhale. Puff the cheeks, tip the chin, hold. And center, exhale. One time, reset the senses, pop your ears when you're done. When you're done, looking over the left shoulder, far, far away into the infinite horizon, everything I see is light. Stretching, opening up your perspectives, come through the center, look over the right. Relax your gaze, open focus. Coming back to center, looking up into the infinite blue sky, stretching your throat, thyroid. Relax your forehead. Come through the center, tuck your chin. Close your eyes or look at your cheeks. Take the light in through the nape of the neck. Inhaling right ear over the right shoulder. Take your time. Opening up the channels. Exhaling, coming down. In reverse. Seeing in your mind's eye all of your blood vessels filled with light. All of your nerves, all of your muscles, all of your joints, ligaments, tendons, light, free flowing, everything moving with grace, with ease. One more time back. Whenever you're done, coming back to center. Again, just feeling that radiance, every cell of my being, light, joy, vibrating in joy and love. Fill your being with love. Bring your hands to prayer. Just decide, decide, decide. Everything that was, everything that is, everything that will be is perfect, is in divine order, is harmonious, is loving, is love. Catch the feeling of knowingness, of calm, of confidence. Everything is working out even better than you imagined. How easy it is to stay aware. You have always been aware. You have always been harmonious. I've always been love. Just remember, remind yourself who you are, what you've decided, and bring it through all time, through your entire existence. Covering yourself in the blankets of love, peace, and light. Inhale to begin. Love before me, love behind me, love at my left, love at my right, love above me, love below me, love in me, love in my surroundings, love to all, love to the universe. Inhale, peace before me, peace behind me, peace at my left, peace at my right, peace above me, peace below me, peace in me, peace in my surroundings, Peace to all. Peace to the universe. Inhale. Light before me. Light behind me. Light at my left. Light at my right. Light above me. Light below me. Light in me. Light in my surroundings. Light to all. Light to the universe. Inhale for Om Shanti. Om Shanti. 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 Thank you guys. Thanks for joining me.